These chocolates aren't for you, Beep. Because variety is the spice of life. Even though this box does contain coffee chocolates, I hate coffee ones. HeroCade review for the PlayStation VR. Let's begin! HeroCade comes with 9 minigames, so for that reason, I'm going to review this title differently. You begin in the game's hub world where you have access to 9 games. You move by teleporting. When you go to enter a game, an online leaderboard is seen to your left, and an objective for the game is to your right. This objective does not need to be completed, but if you do, you'll unlock a new hub world stage environment, and also a trophy. The first game we shall take a look at is called Sisters. This is a horror experience where you are in one position and are looking around a room with a torch. There is no smooth turning. The graphics are quite sharp. It's a bit interesting simply because you don't know what is going to happen. One jump scare did get me, but once it's over and you think back on it, it really is quite a poor experience. You can use either the DualShock controller or one Move controller to play. This game does only last for about 4 minutes. Jurassic Survival is a shooting gallery where you kill waves of dinosaurs. You are bound to one position and there is no smooth turning. Dinosaurs come from all directions. Their animations aren't the best and some of them look almost as if they're skiing across the environment. When you kill a T-Rex, it falls on you and you go through the 3D model. The lighting is quite bad and the torch really doesn't have much of an effect on the environment at all. One side of the environment is completely black and the dinosaurs look like they are walking on nothing. I experienced a bug when I played with a DualShock controller. The dinosaur stopped moving and my bullets were unable to collide with it, forcing me to restart. You can use either the DualShock controller or Move controller to play. I recommend using the Move controller as it is a lot easier to aim with. In Polyrunner you control a spaceship and navigate it through many different locations. You can fly through rings for benefits such as a speed boost, bonus score and slow motion. You can steer the ship with either look, controller or tilt. I found it easier to use the controller. The further you get without crashing, the better your score. If you beat your previous distance, a message appears saying new record. It feels great when it pops up, and this game would be a lot of fun challenging your friends and family for the top score, and you can do so in either a normal mode or hard mode. This is one of the better games of this collection, and is very similar to Race the Sun, but it isn't quite as good. Space Bit Attack is basically Space Invaders in VR. You shoot down waves of enemies. Some enemies can fire back at you, which you must dodge. When some enemies are destroyed, they drop power-ups that you need to collide with to make them become active. Sometimes you get a shield and sometimes some rockets. The graphics are simple, but it is obviously going for a 3D pixel art style, and the depth is good. The game information is displayed to the right of you. You have to turn your head quite far to see it, and it is quite uncomfortable if you're sitting down. After a certain amount of waves, the enemies come towards you very quickly, and you have no chance of beating them whatsoever. It just feels really unfair. This game is played with a DualShock controller. In said strike, you take to the skies in a plane and must gun down zombies before they kill all your survivors, or reach a certain location. You zoom in to get a closer look and then press the fire button. It's very tedious killing all of the waves of zombies, and isn't fun at all. The maps you watch over are just fields, and lack any detail. You can upgrade your plane with better weapons and cash boosters. The sound isn't very good, and you constantly have the buzzing of the plane in your ears. In my opinion, this is the worst game out of all of them, and I honestly couldn't play it for too long at all. This game is played with the DualShock controller. In 405 Road Rage, you drive a car down a road whilst dodging oncoming traffic. You steer with your headset. The further you get, the more coins you will earn. You also earn coins for doing things such as driving close to other cars. You spend coins on upgrades for your car such as wheels, engines, and you can also buy new cars. The depth is good, and you always have a great understanding of how far everything is away from you. It is quite thrilling to get far, but the excitement is quickly lost as this game is also unfair. Sometimes it's impossible to even have a chance of getting out of the way of some vehicles, and some even pop in randomly. It has 3 modes. In Bomb Bus you need to keep your speed above 50 miles per hour, otherwise the bus will explode. It also explodes if you crash into vehicles too much. It's okay, and is a welcomed addition. You play this game with the DualShock controller. Alpha Turkey Hunt is a shooting gallery where you have to shoot turkeys. There are 3 different difficulties, each with their own location. It's best to shoot for turkeys in the head, because they die instantly. If even one turkey reaches you, it's game over. Different turkeys reward you with a different amount of coins. Coins are used to buy new weapons. It's quite a fun little game simply because you can shoot a gun, and it's always fun to do so in VR. The locations are badly modelled, but the turkey art is good, and everything appears sharp and crisp. This shooting gallery is a lot better than the dinosaur one. This game is played using either the DualShock controller or the Move controller. Using the Move controller is so much better in this game. Gumi no Yumi is a puzzle game where you control a squirrel-like creature and have to push coloured gummy bears onto the same coloured star. You only have a certain amount of moves to do this in. You move in each stage from square to square on a grid. It is possible to make a mistake and not be able to complete the level. If you do this, you'll have to start from the beginning again. If you like puzzle games, you'll probably get some enjoyment from this one, although a free movement camera would have been better, as when you switch your view, you don't move straight away. It is delayed by about a second, and just doesn't feel fluid. There are 36 levels in total to complete, and you can earn 3 stars in each one. The music is cheery and pleasant. This game is played with the DualShock controller. And now we arrive at the final game, Dread Halls. I have saved the best game for last. Dread Halls is a randomly generated dungeon horror game. The main objective is to find an eye on each floor of the dungeon. To navigate and remember where you have been, you have a map that tracks your movement. To view the map, you simply look down and it floats up. This feels incredibly natural to do, and it will be second nature in no time at all. It's a good thing too, as you will be running away from many different enemy types, such as enemies that sense motion, and some that will give chase if you meet their eyes with your own. I shivered a few times whilst going through the dungeon, and the jump scares are incredible, especially as the floors are randomly generated. Some of the corridors are very narrow, and the depth is obviously amazing in them, and the depth is still great out of them. You carry a lantern which can run out of oil. If it does, you can barely see in front of you, and it is very creepy. You find more oil scattered around in different rooms, and also coins and lockpicks. Coins are used on heads on the walls to find out more information about the place you're in. Lockpicks are used for opening doors quicker in a little lockpick game. You always want a lockpick on you in case you are chased and need to get through a door quicker. This game really shines out from the rest and is a game that horror fans should definitely experience. I really did enjoy my time with it. It did only take me about an hour to beat, but you can choose to do another randomly generated level from the main menu if you want. This game is played with a DualShock controller. And now it's time for the verdict. Although a lot of these experiences are quite bad, I do think it is at a reasonable price for the amount of content you get, even if you only do try a game once. I did have a bit of fun messing around with all the games, and it was interesting to see how they all played. Most of the games do feel like they are a work in progress, and ultimately prototypes for when VR was first in the making. Dread Halls is amazing, and if you like Crystal Rift you'll love it. The jump scares are a lot better in Dread Halls, and it really is a solid experience. A couple of the games could also be a bit of fun for families and friends, competing for high scores, although the time doing this may be short-lived. Instead of one overall score for this collection, I am going to give each game a score. Even though they are low scores, for the admission price and the amount of game variety included, it still may be worth checking out. Jurassic Survival gets a 3, Space Bit Attack gets a 2, Zed Strike gets a 1, Polyrunner gets a 6, Road Rage gets a 4, Alpha Turkey Hunt gets a 4, Gumi no Yumi gets a 6, Dread Halls gets an 8, and Sisters gets a 3. What did you do? Beep! I gave them to our next door neighbour! She's allergic to nuts! What do you guys think of these games? I'd love to know your thoughts on all of them. If you enjoyed this review and found it helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. It really does help me and Beep out.